The objectives are to learn the elements of a good story and to create and tell an original story based on a personal experience. So Oren's personal story is titled Choices, and hopefully we won't have to go through 6 to 8 minutes of purgatory. Thank you, Oren.
Life is full of choices. From the first thing we get up in the morning to the last thing we do when we go to bed, we make thousands of choices, both consciously and subconsciously. I could have started the speech from there. I decided to start from here. Basic choices. But other choices that we make have a much larger impact on our lives. Do we rent a house? Do we buy a house? That accusation, do we make it? Do we keep it to ourselves? Do we carry through with something, or do we let it go? The story I'm going to tell tonight, I guarantee everyone here could get up and tell a similar story. The specifics might be different, but the one thing that will unite this story is this. At times in our life, we come to a situation where we are totally out of our comfort zone. We haven't prepared for it, we're not ready. But we have to make a choice. And this story is about the repercussions of making that choice. It was back in 2014, January. It was a stinking hot day, Australia Day. We were in Cape Otway. We'd been on a camping trip that weekend. A number of Irish families, family members, friends, etc. My wife had gone home the evening before, but I had a lift to get back home that day with Mary and with Owen and the 2 kids, my 2 kids. We packed up. Anyone who's ever gone camping knows that when it's a hot morning, it's sweaty, the sun's pumping down on you. By the time we were finished, the kids were cranky, we were hot, we were sweaty, we wanted to get home. So it was late morning. We got on the road, we're heading back to Melbourne. But we're on the same road with the same cars and everyone's got the same idea at the end of a long bank holiday weekend. We're all going back. Google Maps says it's not 3.5 hours back to Melbourne this afternoon. It's 5.5. The plan all along had been to stop off at a beach along the way, but we wanted to get a certain distance before we stopped at that beach, and the idea was Lorne. But well before Apollo Bay, we were stuck in a lot of traffic. 2 days before, we'd stopped in Apollo Bay and had gone for a swim, but being a bank holiday weekend, the place was packed. We decided to go somewhere quieter. So 30 minutes after leaving Cape Otway, we arrived at Marengo Beach. Marengo Beach is an unpatrolled beach. We were the only car to pull into that car park. We got out. I remember getting out of the car, the heat, coming out of an air-conditioned car, the heat, the humidity, into the heat, onto the beach. All of a sudden there was a bit of a breeze. I got the kids changed nice and quickly, and myself, Mary, and Owen made a beeline for the water. We hadn't checked. There's a website, it's about beaches. Every beach in Australia has a hazardous rating of 1 to 10. Marengo Beach has a rating of 9 out of 10. It's extremely hazardous. It is not recommended to bathe in Marengo Beach. Yeah, I got to the water. The water was freezing. That wasn't unexpected. The water's like that part of the world. And to be honest, I was glad to get into the water at that stage. But then, the unexpected. The water got to my waist, and I've never felt a pull like the pull that I got at that moment in time. It took all the balance I had to remain upright, and I managed to take a step or two backwards. While I did that, to the left of me, Owen dives in, Mary dives in, and I stood there transfixed. They surfaced, and I watched them, and I thought, should I say something? do I warn them as to what I've just experienced? And I stood there and I watched them for 20, 30 seconds. And not a problem, they swam around. And I'm a strong swimmer, but there was no way I was swimming into that. And I remember I made my way back to the shore, but I made my way back to the shore watching the guys. But everything seemed fine, everything seemed normal. And I thought, okay, but I gotta keep an eye on this situation. I got to the shore and I looked around. The beach wasn't deserted. There were people on the beach, but even from memory, they were a good distance away. And I kept watching, and then I watched the kids. The kids are happy enough, they're playing on the sand, making sandcastles. I look up. Mary and Owen are together. Owen's got Mary in one arm, and he's waving. Owen's waving, he's in trouble. He's in trouble. And like I said at the start, it was that moment in time where you're out of your comfort zone, you have to make a decision. There's a choice to be made. Anyone who understands rips knows that it's an undercurrent that's bringing the water out. If you get caught in a rip, the idea is you let the rip bring you out, you swim to the side, you hopefully come back in. That's great information to have now. I didn't know that's how a rip operated. All I knew standing there as I watched what was going on was, if I go out into that water, I'm just going to be stuck with those three guys because I can't see myself coming. I don't know how I'm going to come back. And I made the wrong choice. I looked down at the kids. Kids are fine. I looked up and I walked into the water. I should have, looking back, I should have ran down, let out a roar, grabbed someone, but I didn't. As I made my way out, I was waiting for that pull. I was waiting for that force to take me out, to bring me out to the guys, but it never came. It never came. There was a bit of a pull, but it wasn't anything like the force of that pull that I had 5 minutes earlier. And as I got out to Mary, Mary was clearly in a lot of trouble. Owen looked okay, but I hadn't realized. Owen, with the force, with the amount of effort he'd put in to get back out of that rip, he was exhausted. I got Mary by the arm. A wave or two came over, but looking back, I actually got her out. I got her out pretty easily. We came to the edge of the water and they weren't collapsed on the ground. They were okay, but we went over, we sat them down where their stuff was, and they clearly just needed some time. And I walked away. And it was the strangest of days. After that, the day actually then went on as if, it seemed to go on as if nothing, not as if nothing had happened, but it just carried on. And we went to Wye River, had lunch, we met friends. But it was really only that evening when we got home that we realized what we had gone through. And it was when Mary is very close friends with my wife Jen. And it was only when we got home that evening. And Mary explained to Jen, and the whole severity of what happened really hit home. And and subsequent a text from Owen, and I realised how different that day could have panned out. Did I choose to dive into the water that day with Mary and Owen? No, I didn't. Should I have got the attention of the people down the other end of the beach? I didn't, I should have. Should I have gone in, should I have made the choice to go into the water to save them? Probably not. And that's the thing with life. The choices you make, whether big or whether small, it sums up the life that we have. Mr. Toastmaster.
That was definitely one moving presentation there, so fantastic. Thank you.